running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee and panel.
And it's Coffee and on ONAM and FM. Thanks for joining us Tuesday morning, September 10th. My name is Joe Callahan. Nice to have you along with us. And Linda Tebow is here. Hi, Linda.
Good morning.
And Ed Cruz with us as well. Hi, Ed.
Hello there.
And this first segment of the Coffee and program is sponsored by the Carew Investment Group. So time for first message, Ed, please.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Good morning, everyone. Are you retired or retiring soon? Well, that's great. Congratulations. You may be retiring, but your money can't afford to retire. I'm Ed Carew of the Carew Investment Group. It's 2190 Mendon Road, Suite 3 in Cumberland, Rhode Island. At the Carew Investment Group, we offer personal investment management of client money, especially from the proceeds of their 401k distribution after they leave the workforce. So to find out more about our services and for professional management of your investments, you can call me or Paul at 765-8880. Securities are offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
Thanks, Ed. And a reminder, Woonsocket mayoral candidate John Ward will be joining us on Coffee and today in a paid appearance. He'll be here at 8:45 until 9.
Good to see John.
I'll be here because it's primary day here in
Yes,
here in the
it
state of Rhode
is.
Island, and he's
Yes,
out.
it
He'll be
is.
out asking for your vote today as he's running for a mayor. All right, more on that a little later on. If I read in your emails, Ed, last
Yes.
week was kind of a crazy week on Wall Street. Is that because one it was only 4 days of,
That's
of
one
trading?
reason, yeah.
Okay. And what were the other reasons that made
It's
it crazy?
September.
Okay.
And you heard of Manny being Manny?
Yes, Manny
Well,
Ramirez.
this is September being September.
Doing its usual craziness.
Yeah, September is generally not a good month.
Mm-hmm.
At least it hasn't been in the last 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
But it generally starts off crummy, and somewhere along the line turns around. Like maybe yesterday.
Oh,
The
okay.
Dow was up over 400
It was.
yesterday. But I'm not saying that it's all done. But you get
Right.
a lot of things going on. You get the Fed meeting next week, where the debate is, will they cut the rates by 25 basis points or 50 basis points?
Right.
So that's a big thing. You got the debate tonight.
Yep.
So there's a lot of stuff going on. The consumer price index is coming out again this week, and all that kind of, lots of numbers, lots of fury and fire and all that brimstone.
Is the other thing that's affecting it would be, and I just heard it in today's news, we're looking at another government shutdown in a couple of months.
Oh, that's on a back burner. Nobody's
It is. Thinking of-
talking about that, right? There's too many things directly in front of you.
All right, we'll worry about that later.
Yeah, really, it's not on a.
Because the last I heard is the Democrats don't like what the Republicans offered.
Well,
The government shutdown.
Yeah.
So.
What's new?
I know what's new is right. Okay.
Neither side likes what the other guy's got to say.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to? Should we talk about what Linda thinks of the Patriots, or do you want to hear about my rant?
Well, let's hear your rant.
The rant?
They're
Okay.
always,
The store Target.
Target, yes.
Target. Oh, that's the upscale Target.
Yes,
Yes.
That place. That's
Yes.
right. All right. They push for you to use self-checkout like no other store,
Really?
I think.
Really?
Because there's the times I've gone, and this could be because of staffing or whatever, but there always seems to be only one cashier open. You got 20 lanes, one person working. Please go over. It's almost forcing you to go to the self-checkout. So I was there last night with my wife, and we only had 2 items. All right, this will be quick. And the line for the one cashier was, I don't know, 7 people deep. I said, all right, I'm gonna buck my usual tradition, and I will go to the self-checkout. And I beep, and you put it down, and you hit pay, and I look at my options. I wanted to pay with cash and couldn't.
Oh,
Now
yeah.
there was no sign
Yeah, usually they
around that
yeah.
says,
Yeah.
credit card only or no cash. I'm like, well. So I had to signal for a person to come over.
Come help me.
I said, I want to pay cash. Oh, you can't here. Why can't I?
He won't take checks either.
They made that announcement, didn't they? Like last
Yeah.
week. Well, it's been a real long time since I paid with a check anywhere. But anyway, but this is what we had to do. He had to suspend the sale at the register we were at, and then we had to walk over
People.
to another cash register and looking at all the people in line because we got to go stand next to that person, and he had to open up that register, and he had a little slip of paper that printed up that suspended it from the other one, scan it back in, so the right price came up again, and then I could pay him, which I was trying to avoid, and so he could give me my change. I didn't have came to $60-something. I didn't have the exact change, so I knew change was coming back, but I go, but you want us to use the self-checkout,
Yeah.
and now I can't use it because I wanted to pay cash. I'm so old-fashioned. I wanted to pay cash.
But you know,
so
I
the
think
point
that's-
is make it easier.
But I think at the stores that do have the self-checkout, it says no cash. It didn't say no cash.
I looked around specifically for that. 'Cause at first I looked at the screen. It was debit card, credit card,
Yeah.
Venmo, or there was a third option, but I was looking for the cash button, and it wasn't on the screen. And then I looked around where I'm standing.
Yeah.
I was like, well, where's the cash only
Yeah,
or
yeah.
no
No
cash,
cash,
sign?
yeah.
And I didn't see.
You didn't
And when he came over, he said, "Oh, this was no cash." Well, where does it say
Where
that?
does that say?
Well, it doesn't. And so they have, I don't know, what is it, 6 or 8, and only some of them are cash, and some of them aren't, but not.
Oh, really?
Yes, but not marked.
Oh, okay. How are you supposed to know which ones are?
I don't know. It's like gambling. It's a roll of the dice to see which one you got to go to.
Oh, wow. Well, that's crazy.
And so that was my fun time at Target.
And half an hour later or
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Could have been faster standing in line.
It would have been, I think. So it's like, oh gosh. So, all right. So that was the fun at Target last night. So just be warned, if you do go to the self checkout and you want to pay cash, you might not be able to.
Right.
You may have to get signal someone to come over and help, and then you got to walk over all over creation trying to pay cash at the Target. I don't know if this is a situation at Walmart or Stop and Shop or well, Kohl's doesn't
I've
have a
seen-
self-checkout.
I've seen signs, like, I think it was at a CVS, no cash.
CVS,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I think it was CVS.
Okay.
No cash.
Well, there was nothing blatant that said this is a no cash register.
That's discrimination.
Oh yeah. Oh, do I have a suit? We shall see. All right. Moving on from that. I know Linda watched. Ed, did you watch the Patriots?
I did.
All right. Were you happy? Well, you had to be. We won.
Oh, yeah, we
Well, I'm not happy. Were you impressed? Let's go with impressed with how the team did.
I thought they did way better than I expected.
Well,
Put
me,
it that way.
me too. You happy with everything? How things went, Linda?
Yes, and I thought Brissett looked really in control.
Well, it happens when you're, what is he, a 9-year veteran now?
Well, I know
Yeah,
he's.
I think so.
It's,
Yeah.
it's time to
No,
show that
Well,
leadership.
but it showed.
It did show.
It did show.
Mhm.
It definitely showed.
And I mentioned yesterday on Coffee In, when he was under a little pressure, he didn't fold, he didn't collapse.
Yeah.
He's stepped up. He kept looking for it, knowing he's going to get hit. He still threw the ball
And he was
and
looking. Yeah, he
connected
was
on
looking.
most times. I mean, he made a few mistakes, overthrew a couple of people, but you can't be perfect. And I thought Ramondre Stevenson, the running back, was
Oh my!
tremendous.
He was something. He was something to watch.
Yes, it was
Right.
great. And they said, there's a missed tackle. The defender should have had him, but he only threw out one arm. He goes, he's way too strong. Those
legs of his.
The legs of his are.
through,
They
huh?
said that his thighs are massive.
And he's not a big guy, but
No,
he's like.
but if you're just going to
he's
grab him like
strong.
around the shoulder pads,
Yeah,
you're
that's not gonna
not
work.
bringing him
No,
down.
no, you're not.
He's way too strong.
You know, another observation that Burrows, for the other team.
Yeah, the quarterback, Joe Burrows.
Right?
Yep,
And
he looked lost.
and I think the blonde hair got to him.
That's right.
It's like he's a celebrity now or something, and I was like, what the heck did he do? He blonde. on
When I saw him,
And
I'm
I
like,
said-
I don't remember him looking like that,
Yeah,
but I
no,
could
he-
be wrong. I don't
but
know.
No, he
Yeah.
didn't
I'm
look
not up
like
on
that.
it. And it
No.
wasn't until I watched Sunday Night Football
Yeah.
that they said, here's Joe Burrow and his new hair.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, oh, it is, all right, it is new.
Well, I
Oh,
spotted
okay.
it right away, and I was like, I think it might have, permeated
His brain.
because he didn't look too good.
Nope. And now, granted, they had two of their best players didn't play. They're hurt.
Right. Yeah.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
But that's not an excuse. I don't want to hear
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Right.
You
know,
put out the
I-
guys you think are going to be the best, and
Yeah.
and we come after you.
And
So.
I was happy to see first of all, I was glad they won. Patriots
Yep.
won. I was glad they won. I thought he looked really strong and good. And you know, it was nice at the end of the game when they won and all the coaches were smiling.
Well, they got their first
They were
victory.
going,
Yes.
yay!
And Gerard Mayo got his
It's
first
a whole new world there.
got his first Gatorade shower.
Yes,
I thought
yes.
that- and Robert
Yeah.
Kraft gave him the ball.
Yeah.
Team,
yeah.
here's the team
Yeah.
ball for your
Yeah.
first victory as a head coach.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh, that's
No,
great.
that was nice to see. That,
Yeah.
You know,
And it was. And so now they move
looked
on.
happy.
Uh,
yeah. And
t-
who knows? See
home
what
opener
happens.
this Sunday against Seattle. And it's going to be a tough game.
Yeah.
And this coming Sunday. But I think with the win on Sunday makes the crowd, it'll be even more pumped up.
Right, exactly.
Seeing that they're coming out 1-0, tied for first place
Yep.
with Miami and
Get your Super Bowl tickets now.
Yeah.
with Miami and
Who
the other
knows,
team.
know?
Who's the other team? Buffalo and Miami. Okay. And I thought, there was a time there. Hey, we could be 1-0 by ourselves
Yeah.
because Buffalo was losing 17-3 and Miami was losing 14-0. I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, this will be great. And then, oh my gosh, Arizona really did terrible down the end to let Buffalo win, and Miami wins on the last second field goal. I'm like, no. But the good news is the Jets lost last night, so they're 0-1.
Yes.
Yet
did
Aaron
you-
Rodgers
did you
didn't
see
hurt
that?
didn't hurt
Yeah,
himself.
He didn't get hurt. No,
about that?
we watched that one too, and I said, "Oh, he looks okay now."
Well, I had to watch it at least for the first 4 plays.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
that's last year he got hurt on the 4th play
Yeah.
of the game.
Yeah, yeah.
But he made it past that. I'm like, okay, well, looks like he's gonna do all right.
Who were they playing last night?
They played.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I thought.
No, wait a minute. I'm going to get it.
I watched it.
San Francisco. They played
Oh,
the San
okay.
Francisco 49ers.
So the 49ers
Yeah.
won, huh?
49ers.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was 32-19 or
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So I was like, and Rodgers was trying to, amp up his team before the game and said, if we win, or when we win, he said, we're one of the best in the league. If we lose, we're just the same old Jets. And now they're the same old Jets,
The same old
at
Jets.
0-1.
Yeah.
So, all right. But they look better under him, by the way, in some of the game that I watched.
And yeah, I see.
'Cause he's a
I'm
good
not a
quarterback.
fan of his. I'm
But
not
but he's good.
Yeah, I know.
Even at 40,
I know.
he's still a
Yeah,
good quarterback.
yeah,
I'm not a
yeah.
big fan of his either.
No.
But, and
no,
and especially since he's on the
he's
Jets, I want
another
them to
one,
lose.
knows what he's doing. You could, he
Oh, yeah.
definitely like.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he lost.
Well, and I'm surprised because when they went up against San Francisco, their quarterback, this is only his second or
That
third year.
Purdy.
Brock Purdy.
Purdy.
Yeah.
He
I'm like,
looked really good.
a lot better
And
than I thought.
And he's a young guy.
He's young as
Yeah.
well, and it's gotten to the point where they show their picture on the TV ad. And I'm like, what is he, 12?
Well, he's the
Oh,
one
my
that
gosh.
really looks like
But they-
maybe 12 and a half.
Purdy
yeah.
looks young. Burrows looks young.
Yeah.
Drake May looks young. I'm like, uh-oh. Maybe
Because
it's
they
me.
are.
I like it when you see Aaron Rodgers and he's
Well,
got the
did you
gray
s-
in the beard.
Yes, and he's looking very gaunt, and yeah.
All right,
yeah,
and
yeah.
did you watch any of Tom Brady on his national debut
I saw
as color
him.
commentator?
I saw him.
Okay,
He looked good.
he looked good. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
And he he is knowledgeable.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
This is how you do it, and this is what this play is,
he's
and like
not
that. so.
only, he was good, but he's smart too.
Yeah.
That's why he was so good. He
And,
knows the game.
He went fine. It went fine.
Yeah.
Other people were they were a little bit critical of him, a little bit
Yeah.
stiff, a little bit. He thought he talked too much, a little bit forced laughter
Yeah.
kind of thing. Well, it's to be expected,
It's his
and
first time.
it's his first
Yeah.
time. And someone else put, how many times in our first day on our first job are we on national television?
Yeah.
That's an
That's a
excellent point.
Well, I mean, he was, but he was playing a game where he
Well,
was
that's
comfortable.
that's
This time
true.
he's talking
But how
the
many
game,
how many people have 8 million people watching you?
watching you at a mic?
Yeah, and be good.
It'd be good.
Don't screw up.
Well, he just knows so much, though. He's
Oh yeah,
so
it's
knowledgeable.
a lot. So, and he'll just keep
And he
he'll
looked
just
good.
keep getting better.
And he looked good.
Well, that's the important part, Rolinda. So, of course, did you see that movie 80 for Brady?
No, I did
Oh,
not.
you gotta
Yeah,
watch that.
they
Did you
said
see that,
it's
Ed? No.
hysterical.
With
Yeah.
the four
yeah,
80-year-old
the
women
yeah.
that go to the Super Bowl
Yeah.
because it's Tom Brady's good looking and Julian Edelman's good looking,
Yeah.
and that's the only
Edelman.
reason why they went
Yeah.
there is
Well,
because
sure.
they're good looking. It's a pretty funny movie. It takes a few liberties, by the way.
Yeah,
But, all right, but watch that one's good. All right, Ed, time for a second message from the Carew Investment Group, and then we'll take our first break here on the Coffee and program.
Okay, thanks again, Joe. Good morning again, everyone. Integrity, trust, service. 3 words that sum up what you can expect from the Carew Investment Group at 2190 Mendon Road in Cumberland. Established in 1987, we've been helping local investors to build wealth and guide them through their golden years of retirement using quality stocks of companies that you know, many of which pay quarterly dividends. We also use investment-grade bonds and low-cost exchange-traded funds. To find out more about our services and for a quality conservative approach to investing, give us a call at 765-8880. Integrity, trust, and service. The Carew Investment Group. Securities offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
All right, Ed, thanks. And the Coffee and program will continue. You can call in your comments or questions at 766-1240. We have a note to get to when we come back.
Hi, this is John Ward, candidate for mayor of Woonsocket. Early voting has begun and primary day is just around the corner. I'm asking for your vote whether you choose to vote early or on primary day. Don't wait until November to start making a change. Being the mayor of Woonsocket is no place for on-the-job training. Now more than ever, experience matters. When city government is working well, it's a challenging job that often stays off the front page in TV news. Day-to-day tasks like picking up trash, plowing streets, maintaining clean and attractive parks, providing essential services like clean water and emergency response all get done quietly and efficiently, and we must always respect and appreciate those who perform these valuable services for us. An experienced mayor also has the time and ability to work effectively with our state and federal representatives, community partners, and residents to improve our city and ensure the good delivery of other services and improvements for our city. It's time to move on from the legacy of backdoor deals and mismanagement. Our current mayor, who was handpicked by the former mayor and never elected to the mayor's office, has continued down the same path with some of the same people. We need a change from this approach that values loyalty over integrity. We still don't know the full impact of the former part-time Human Service Director's careless exposure of private information, but it's clear we cannot afford more of the same. I'm asking for your vote on primary day, Tuesday, September the 10th. Every single vote on that day will be crucial to get the change in motion. Please visit my website at wardformayor.org for more information. It's time for a new direction, one where experience and integrity matter. I'm John Ward, and I'm respectfully asked for your vote for mayor of Woonsocket. Let's turn our city around together. Thank you.
Paid for Friends of John Ward.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
ON, AM, and FM.
It's Coffee In on ON. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Callahan. Ed Carew is here. Linda Tebow is here. And we'll be joined by John Ward in about half an hour here on the Coffee In
Be good to see you,
program.
Jim.
So James Earl Jones passed away
Yes. So
last night
sad,
at
huh?
93.
What a voice, huh?
Ah, it's
What-
great. And to read about his entire life, it's amazing because he was a stutterer
Yes.
as a kid.
Yeah.
And just knowing him from his movies, you would never think
No,
that.
no.
Never think that. And so yeah, he was the voice of Darth Vader.
Yep.
CNN liked him so much they hired him just to say this is CNN.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah.
They
Lion
probably
King.
paid him a lot.
Lion
And that's
King.
what upset my daughter the most. She texted me last night, and she's like, "Mufasa's died."
Yeah, but, yeah.
Yes, yes. So, sorry to say that. This
know
is so
what?
upsetting.
I did not realize that he got a Tony.
He's one of 4:
He's won them all.
Emmy, Oscar, Grammy,
And
Tony. Did I get that
Tony.
right?
He won a Tony because he was in Driving Miss Daisy.
Yep.
On, I just thought it was a movie. I didn't know it was a play first.
Yeah, Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony.
Tony. Yeah.
You know, very few
yeah.
actors
Yeah.
get those 4.
No.
So he was in more than 80 films.
Yeah.
And got an honorary Oscar in 2011. Field of Dreams.
Field of
He was great in Field of
Saw him in
Dreams.
that, yeah.
Hunt for Red October, The Sandlot.
Yeah.
Coming to America 1 and 2. in the Lion King movies. So yeah, so just a shame.
Yeah.
But
That
had a great life, and that voice is
that
just
voice. And
is
you know
just
what?
amazing.
I mean, at night he still looked good.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
he was, a handsome man.
Mhm.
I mean,
All right, so we got to move on from that. And as I mentioned earlier, let's see. Yesterday was the first day. If you want to register for the 129th running of the Boston Marathon,
oh,
yeah,
I wanted to be
As I
there on
said,
the first day.
and you have until this Friday.
Oh, all right.
So you have till
Okay,
Friday
good.
at
I'll
5
have to
p.m.
Practice
to
running in my pool some more.
to register. I go, and I said earlier, this will be 57 years in a row. I am not going to do it.
You're not going to do it, huh?
Nope.
Got to admire those people, though.
It is impressive. The 2025 Boston Marathon is scheduled for April 21st. What's always impressed me, and we all remember Zdeno Chara, played hockey for the Boston Bruins.
Yeah.
6'9".
Yeah, but then he runs it.
He runs the Boston Marathon.
Yeah. I
He's
know.
in that great a shape, and he's in his mid 40s.
Oh, easily.
If not,
A
he might have hit
little
50
more on
by
the
now.
higher end of the
Yeah.
40s now, I
So,
think. Yeah.
but not only does he would run he didn't run it during hockey season because he was playing
Yeah.
usually at that time. But now that he's retired, it was the last one. He ran the
Ran?
Boston Marathon,
Yeah.
took a couple of days off, and flew over to London, and ran in theirs.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
This guy's in such great shape.
He is. He is.
He's
got those long
tremendous.
legs,
and those
too.
huge long legs. I mean, he still doesn't come in first.
No,
but,
of course,
but,
no,
but he
but-
finishes.
yeah.
So
Yeah, he finishes.
that's just so impressive that he does that. All right, so we had a bizarre story be out of Bellingham because the authorities can't really say, did this really happen or not really happen? And you didn't hear the story? Ed,
What?
did you hear the story?
No.
They're saying that a 7-foot red-tailed boa constrictor was let loose in the Walmart parking lot in Bellingham.
When?
Yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Cause snakes do what they do. If you let them loose, they slither away.
Sure they
don't,
do,
They
yeah.
don't stay in one spot.
No.
They woods. They head to the trees. So it slithered away from his owner. Now the owner, who couldn't find it, posted on a Missing Dog Massachusetts Facebook page because they don't have missing snakes. Facebook page, I guess.
How do
We'll
you-
use that as a missing pet. Looking
how-
for help.
How do you lose a big snake like that?
You if you stumble in the parking lot and you drop whatever container they're in and it breaks or the door flies open.
What does it take your snake to shop day or something? Why would you be taking?
Yes, it is. That's a good point, Linda.
But
Why are you taking your snake?
I mean, if you maybe take him to a vet.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
I guess they have to go to the vets too.
Yeah.
Well, that might be it, but that's it. Now here's the rub. A person who claims to be a friend of the owner said the snake has been found and was on the way to the vet.
Oh, it was on the way to the vet.
Yeah, but
Okay.
nothing can be confirmed. And what vet, there are special vets that do exotic animals.
Exotic animals, yes.
Not
there
just
are.
snakes. So
Yeah, not your run-of-the-mill.
you
I'll
can't,
take
yes,
care of
that
your dog kind
dog,
of,
cat kind of
Y-
thing.
yeah.
You got to go to someone special.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they've reached out to those special, and there's only a few of them, reached out to those special vets to say, has anyone brought a snake in? And I don't know if they have, and they said no. So there's just a lot of
This all
up in
happened
the
yesterday
air,
in
and this all happened
Bellingham.
yesterday. Yeah. So both Bellingham and Franklin Animal Control cannot confirm whether the snake was found.
Well, can't they just go to the guy's house and check it out, see if he's got a snake?
I guess they could,
That could
but
be
I don't know. But we don't even have the name of the
Is that
person
too simple.
or where they live. I'm sure they're in the general area. I don't know.
I think the snake had to go for his COVID shot and decided to leave it, not to do it at the last
Yeah,
minute.
Right.
That's probably it. Yeah.
So I've already had enough of these.
Yeah.
He took
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
he left his ID at home and
Yeah, they
had
wouldn't
to
give
go
it.
back and get
Right,
it. So
Wow.
so
Well,
Is it
Did
true?
we-
Is it not true?
I-
You know, we
I
really
did
don't know.
not hear of this.
Yeah, this
This
happened.
way.
This happened yesterday. If you can read the whole. There's
Does
a
it
whole
say
story on it
where
on
it-
Channel 10's
We're in Bellingham.
in the Walmart parking lot.
Well, oh, they just
Right
down-
off
Be up in
495.
Bellingham Center.
Oh,
wouldn't it?
right up.
Oh, not the center, up in North Bellingham.
Yeah.
Yeah, North Bellingham.
Yeah, near
just as you get
495.
off 495, it's there. Yeah. Okay.
So you can't miss it. 7 feet's a good sized snake, and stay
And
away from
it's a
boa
boa
constrictors.
constrictor?
And yeah, and I just don't understand why people have snakes as pets. And I've known people that have had them, and they say they're great pets. And then I've heard from other animal experts, they say, well, they're not really, because they can't be domesticated like a cat or a dog or,
No.
or a rabbit. That their brains are too small
Yeah.
so they don't really like you. Yeah, you're feeding them,
Yeah.
but if they could escape, they would, in a heartbeat.
Well,
They don't want to be in whatever enclosure you have them in.
They're a wild
Yeah,
reptile.
and
It's an
same
animal, but they're not.
same thing with tarantulas.
That too.
Like a pet Tyrannosaurus Rex. That would be nice.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Put them on a leash.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Walk
Maybe
him
they-
down Fox Run.
Maybe we could do mini ones, you know.
I might have mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, while it was still summertime. We went to Portland, Maine, and we're in downtown Portland, and there was some guy walking down the street had a big yellow snake around his neck. I'm not up on my snakes, but I don't know if it was a boa constrictor or not. It looked like one to me. I mean, it was real big and thick, kind of thing, and people they were kind of scared of it, like that, and it was real, but he kept saying, "Don't worry, he's tame." I'm like, yeah, right now he's tame, and I don't know what you've done to
you're
them.
feeding them well.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Keep them nice and fat with their mice. And
Yeah, but I don't know why you need the need to bring them out in public.
to show that.
And maybe the person in Bellingham didn't have them in a container. Maybe they had them around their neck as well, because
Could be.
they like to.
Yeah.
That's where they like to hang out. I don't know.
One time I went to a reptile thing. It was my grandson's Michael's birthday, and it was one of those things where they had the snakes and everything, and the this and the that and
Yep.
everything. And there was this big yellow
Yeah. Snake.
boa
Boa constrictor.
that
yeah.
you could hold, And I did, because my daughter wouldn't, so I went up with Michael, and we, a bunch of it, we held it. And the big thing they said was, do not put it around your neck. Do not
that's what
put
I was
it
thinking.
around your neck, because,
That's good information to have
Yeah,
right
I
there.
thought that was very good information, and I wasn't going to do that anyways.
Anyway,
but,
okay.
But it was a big, big boa constrictor. Her name was Pumpkin.
Oh, isn't that cute?
Yeah, I thought so. They did not say she was tame.
No, they didn't feed it though, did
But
they?
no, she was well fed before. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's that's one of the other things I know about snakes. Sometimes they eat like once a week
Yeah,
because that's all they have to.
yeah.
So,
Well, their
but is
metabolism.
today feeding day or not? Yeah, I don't know. And I don't want to find
Yeah.
that out.
Well, that's
so.
interesting. I did not hear that story.
So if you want, go to
That
Channel
report.
10's website, and
Channel
they have
10?
they have a story on it.
Okay.
So and that's where we got it from Channel 10's website. Is it there? Is it still loose? Is it not loose? And maybe they'll do a follow up on it to see if it's actually been caught. So Ed, up in Massachusetts, we have lost our top cannabis regulator.
Oh,
The,
gee.
the governor has fired her. No, I'm sorry. The state treasurer, Deb Goldberg, suspended Shannon O'Brien last year as head of the Cannabis Control Commission and says the firing comes after determining that she committed gross misconduct. That's so vague.
What is?
Well, they won't tell you.
No.
Goldberg's office oversees the commission, and she's not releasing the exact reasons for O'Brien's removal at this time. O'Brien says the allegations against her were made because she tried to change the culture at the agency regulating the state marijuana industry. So that's also very vague. What does she try to change? It's a business casual atmosphere. Is that a bad thing? I don't know.
Yeah.
So, but gross misconduct, was she?
Gross. That's
It's are you dating some of your employees? that would fall under that.
Or your customers.
Well, okay. Are you going out? Are you handing out marijuana licenses when you shouldn't?
Yeah.
Are you taking kickbacks?
Yeah.
It does. It just doesn't say. It leaves it up to all sorts of interpretation of what could possibly be going wrong. But there's a job opening, so now up there in Mass. So,
There you go.
so all right. So
And probably a very good paying job too.
it probably is. Pretty close to six figures, maybe. Pretty
Perhaps.
close. Okay. We're going to take a break here in the Coffee and program, and it's time for the weather forecast, and that's being brought to you by Progressive Insurance.
Sunny skies today with a high near 75 degrees and a northwest breeze. Tonight, clear. Overnight low of 48. Wednesday's weather, sunshine and 76. Thursday, sunshine and 80. Friday, sunshine and 84. Saturday, sunshine and 82. Sunday, sunshine and 82 again. And on Monday, mostly sunny skies with a high of 79 degrees.
And it is outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street, sunny skies and 65 degrees. Your small business keeps you on the go. Progressive Commercial Insurance keeps your policy within reach with their easy-to-use mobile app. Learn more at progressivecommercial.com.
You know, when you're paying the right price for protection, you just know it. It's that warm, fuzzy, totally secure feeling, knowing that you're not only getting great coverage, but you're also not paying too much for it. And when it comes to your insurance, there's no one better at getting the right price for your protection than Allstate agents Kara and Celeste Benjamin, because they know when it comes to your bank account, every penny counts towards something bigger, something better. Like a nicer car, that home update you've been dreaming of, or a phone that's fresh out of the box. Those little or big things that we work so hard for. And Kara and Celeste Benjamin want to help you work a little less by getting you the coverage you need and the savings you deserve when you switch to Allstate. Contact Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, two locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. 765-5000 for a free quote today. Allstate, you're in good hands. And you're in good hands with Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. Savings vary based on the average annual savings reported by new auto customers surveyed in 2019 who switched to Allstate. Seasonal allergies got you down? The Honey Shop has a solution. Breathe. It's the all-natural cold and allergy remedy made right here in Woonsocket. Or perhaps you have sleep problems, arthritis, or some other ailment that you're looking for a natural solution. The Honey Shop is also starting classes again. So if you're looking to learn something new, stop by 1300 Park Avenue in Woonsocket near Park Square, or give them a call at 401-766-1488. The Honey Shop.
Hey, it's ON Radio's Cruisin' Bruce Palmer, and I'd love to have you join me every Saturday for the Saturday Block Party. We start at 4 o'clock when I open up the ON Music Vault for you to pick whatever you want to hear or send to somebody special. Yes, the good old radio request days are back. Join me for the Saturday Block Party, Saturdays from 4 until 7 on ON Radio and streaming online at Woonsocketradio.com.
All right, Coffee In on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan with Linda Tebow and Ed Carew. John Ward's going to join us in about 15 minutes. And Ed reminded me, didn't you have a note to get to?
Didn't we have a note to get
Yes, we do. And I'm sorry, I should have got to it earlier, but I'm getting to it right now. And it just says, in one of her recent television ads, Vice President Harris, speaking to a U.S. citizen, professed, quote, "We have to take care of our families," unquote. Now, does that include migrant families as well? That costs a heck of a lot of money. Perhaps I'm being too vague. Be careful what you say, because migrants are taking a big bite out of you-know-what. They are an ongoing problem. Trump, with his idea in this, are going to be a big asset for him in the upcoming election. So when she says we got to take care of our families, I think she means everybody, and that includes the migrants. And so that may be a big maybe a big talking point tonight, when they have their debate tonight in Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
Yeah,
Okay.
Philadelphia. Yeah.
So no audience again tonight, right? No
Nope.
audience. And,
No audience.
And muting of the mics is
Yep.
going to take place as well. Okay, I like how that works. Okay, I think Trump should jump on that. Mostly, and not about the taking care of the families, but about does that mean include taking care of all the migrant families that you have let in? And he's got a hit on that point. Will he? I don't know. Will he take the high road?
No.
No.
You think he's gonna go jump down to calling him what? Let's
Yeah.
call he calls her chameleon Harris. I know he's used that before. I hope he doesn't. But it's him. It's Trump being Trump, and
His own worst enemy.
at times,
His
and
own worst enemy.
and he can be very good at this, at these debates. And if he can get, I always thought if you could get Kamala Harris, stumbling, and like he did with Biden, and get her to
She's not going
say I don't know or something like that.
She's not going to.
But
she's,
Linda,
she's
you think she's too good, right?
She's first of all, she's an attorney. She was an attorney general. She will be in control. She is not going to stumble. She is not Joe Biden.
Right.
She's not Joe Biden, and
I think the thing you have to look for towards her is her word salad.
What does that mean?
She usually
right.
comes out and
Oh,
says
too many
something.
words?
No, not really big words. She
No,
just
too many words.
Too many words to say. Yeah, and repetitious.
right.
To say something simple.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of her quotes. Where she'll say a
Yeah.
paragraph, and within that paragraph, she has said nothing 5 times, but
Yeah.
the same nothing.
Okay.
Right. Well, but that's what I mean. She's very articulate, and she does things. She can
Yeah.
be verbose, but he,
But when the moderators say, you only have a minute
yeah,
to respond or to make your point,
Yeah.
you can't go on and give like a 10
well,
sentence
you can,
paragraph.
but they'll cut you off.
Yeah, you'll hear the.
Yeah,
That's it. That's
you'll
enough
be
for you.
cut. And she's been doing a
It'll
lot
cut your
of
mic
debates, mock debates.
Okay.
Yeah, so she will be well prepared,
I think so.
huh?
I
Well,
think so.
I-
Yeah, she will be well prepared.
yeah.
She will be well prepared, and
No, are the VP candidates, are they going to debate? Has that been decided?
I thought they were going to sometime in October.
yeah,
Okay.
I don't
Yeah,
know if a
I
date
think
has been
that's what I heard.
selected yet,
Yeah.
but that's what I had heard.
yeah.
All right. So I'll try to catch some of the debate tonight. See how things go.
So,
And
Yeah, it's gonna be late for you.
I know 9 o'clock. It starts at 9.
Starts at 9 and it'll last what, an hour and a half, I guess.
Yeah,
Oh,
I won't catch the end. So get in all the good shots at the beginning, and I can turn it off at the first insult.
well, that will, yeah.
Oh, you'll be in bed at 9:08.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you heard about this one, Ed, up in Seekonk, Massachusetts. Just a bizarre case of there's an auto dealer, used auto dealer on Route 6, First Stop Auto Sales. A man in a pickup truck crashes into the car dealership
That was
and dies.
yeah.
Wow, really?
Yeah. The driver of the pickup truck veered off the road, hit several cars in the dealership parking lot. He was pronounced dead at the hospital. There was a passenger in the pickup truck treated for minor injuries. This looks like a medical
It
situation.
sounds like it was
Yeah,
a
it
medical
does.
that
situation
happened
because
while he was
he
driving
was
the
in one
truck.
of those big. I mean,
Like a F-350.
yeah, one of those big
250.
white trucks. Yeah, it was
Okay.
big.
And
so he must have had a medical emergency.
that's what it looks like
Yeah.
when you just start. And if you're not braking
Yeah.
and you're just kind of swerving.
Yeah.
But I feel bad for the dealership.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I know they got insurance and all, but you're there, and now here comes a truck off the road, it smashes into your cars,
And smashed them pretty.
pretty bad,
Yeah.
like almost totaling them.
They
Yeah,
didn't look
so,
good because they were
okay.
smaller vehicles. You
Yeah.
know. It's
Um,
like,
and there was a situation like this over the weekend in Foxborough where there was a crash where it was an elderly man and his wife were in a car accident,
Yes.
81, 82.
yeah. Yeah.
And they never said if that was a medical emergency either,
No,
but
they didn't. no.
that's what it looked like up
Yeah.
there too. So, So, all right. And they started to take down the Washington Bridge.
The bridge. Yeah.
And they can't do it the fun way, Ed.
Can't blow it up?
They can't blow it up.
They can't. No.
That's one of the rules
Yeah.
that went out when the RFP
Yeah.
went out. Said you can't blow it up and have it fall into the river.
Yeah.
So now it's gonna cost more. It's gonna take longer.
It's going to take a long time.
Now we got to go out with saws
Yeah.
and cut
Cut.
and then
Yeah.
remove piece by piece. It's like a jigsaw puzzle, a reverse jigsaw puzzle.
And that's a big bridge.
And it's
Yeah.
big, and now we got to do it in
Wow, in
in
sections, yeah,
stages.
yeah.
So it doesn't, as we cut this, and
Going.
make sure it doesn't fall into the river. So
Yeah.
that's oh well. So more on that, and they've just started that point.
Yeah.
So the situation down there is just going to be that way for a while. So not only us do we have issues in Rhode Island with the school buses. Boston had issues with the school buses too.
Really? Too?
Two-thirds of Boston school buses say they were late on the first day. I never remember this being an issue when I was going to school
Yeah.
of the buses being late
Yeah.
or just forgetting to pick you
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
That was never a thing unless they were on strike.
Yeah.
All right, that was different.
Yeah.
And then you had to get to school. Well, we didn't go to school if the bus drivers were on strike because the teachers, in solidarity,
Solidarity,
just stayed
they were
out.
on
Okay, and there's no
strike,
school
yeah.
because the
Yeah.
teachers didn't show up because the bus drivers were on strike. Okay.
So did they say why?
DATCO came out yesterday, and all they said was they apologized. They said, "I'm sorry.
And we're going to try.
This is all our fault,
Yeah.
and we're going to try to do better."
Yeah.
And they said, "Yeah, it sounds like an empty it's an empty apology
Yeah.
until we actually do better."
Yeah.
And so, please stay with us. Meaning, don't drop our contract with the state. Some of the Department of Education has a contract with the bus company, and so we've hired more people. We're gonna have more buses out there. But yeah, they had their issue the first week of school.
We forgot to plug in our electric buses last night.
That too. That too. And they ran out of electricity. Right. But you could see Boston, though, that they could be late because they must have traffic issues for school buses, and, you know,
Yeah.
one would think. That
Officials say the on-time rate of 34%. That's really low. Oh my
Ooh.
gosh, that's low.
Ooh, that's really bad.
Of 34% was the worst on the first day of school in nearly a decade.
Wow.
Okay. Last year, 61% of Boston school buses were on time on the first day of the academic year. Someone keeps track of this.
Yeah.
So to drop from 61 to 34, I think 61's kind of low.
Something's
Yeah,
wrong.
really.
But to
They
drop
should
it
be
down.
like 100% they're on time.
Talking about going from bad to worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it is Boston. It is the streets of Boston.
Yeah, yeah,
so
no,
I'm trying to give them a little
Boston, yeah.
leeway. But Boston
Mayor-
schools. what's
Mayor
that?
Wu won't be happy.
Yeah.
Boston schools are under a state order to have 95% on time. Bus service is part of a larger education
Yeah.
improvement plan. Who gets arrested? Who do we put in jail for this?
They're gonna blame
Because
somebody.
we're certainly not near 95.
Yeah.
And maybe things have gotten better since the first day of
Yeah.
school, which was last Thursday for
Yeah.
them. So it's a couple of days later, and maybe things have gotten better. So, okay. Would you want to drive a school bus in Boston? I would not.
No, I would not want to drive a school bus anywhere.
Anywhere.
Yeah, that's for
The
sure.
responsibility of that is incredible.
yeah.
Can you imagine?
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine? I mean, and I see, you know, I don't mean to be, but, you know, women driving these buses, and I'm like, are you crazy? You know, in the winter with snow and
Mm-hmm.
yikes. And in North Smithfield, we have a lot of, you
Lot
know,
of hills, lot of
a lot
winding
of
roads.
winding roads
Yeah.
and S curves and stuff. And I was like, wow.
We have-
I look at them and say, yeah, good for you. You're tough. You can do this. I couldn't do that.
We on
Know
the
what I
buses,
want to.
On the buses that I rode in Cumberland, we had windy roads too.
Yes,
To the-
yeah, sure.
To the point, even when there wasn't bad weather,
It was,
the street is so narrow.
yep,
Someone's got to back up.
yep, yeah.
It's not going to be the bus.
No, no.
The bus won every time.
Every time, of course.
Where the
of
where,
course,
okay, the
yeah.
car had to back
Yeah,
up and
yeah.
keep backing up until you found a driveway or
Yeah,
another road
yeah.
to back into.
See, I never had a school bus ride to school
No,
when growing
no.
up in the village of Slade. We didn't live far enough away
Oh, well, I
that we
did.
had to walk, and then we walked home for lunch and back again and back. So, you know, but
Well, I didn't get to walk home for lunch.
made us
so-
strong. You know,
It's true.
made us.
And you didn't have
strong.
school buses either, in?
No.
No. Okay.
No. They had them at Mount, but when I went to
Yeah.
grammar school, we didn't have any school buses
Yeah.
then.
Did you
Yeah.
live close enough to walk?
It had to be at least a couple of miles, maybe 3.
Well, that's pretty long now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Usually-
long. No, see, those are the kids that got picked up in North Smithfield, the
Yeah.
ones that lived. But I lived, yeah, it was still a good walk, but it wasn't that much of a walk.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a break here in the Coffee and program, and more coming your way. In fact, we'll be joined by John Ward when we come back from the break here on the Coffee and program.
I love our Rhode Island shoreline, but our location makes us vulnerable to hurricanes and tropical storms. It's important to be prepared as best we can before the storm hits. You can help by knowing your risks, getting flood insurance, and being familiar with your evacuation route. Let's all do our part to be hurricane strong. The steps we take today can help minimize damage tomorrow. Learn more at riema.ri.gov.
Brought to you by Governor Dan McKee and the Rhode Island Broadcasters Association.
Hi, my name is Trisha. I am the president of Boobification. We have a great event coming up September 15th. It's so many things. Pampering section for breast cancer survivors. We have organizations, vendors, kids section with a petting zoo. We have a schedule of performances and demonstrations from 10:30 till 5:30. Food trucks. There's so much to this event, and I really hope that everybody can make it. Sunday, September 15th, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Post 85 on River Street in Woonsocket. Thank you.
All right, Coffee and on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan with Linda Tebow, Ed Carew, and we're being joined at the Coffee and Table by Woonsocket mayoral candidate John Ward in a paid appearance by the Friends of John Ward.
Good morning again.
Good morning to you, John. You get your opening statement.
Thank you.
For
Opening
debates.
statement is a simple one. Today is primary day.
Yes.
There's a runoff for the mayor's race. There are 3 of us. It's got to be whittled down to 2 for the November election, and I would like to be one of those people.
Mm-hmm.
I would really appreciate it if I could come out on top so that we can send the message that it's time for change in Woonsocket, and the same old just won't do. So I offer my experience. I always said, like I've told people, I've been working 30 years in various levels and areas of government, and I'm pretty familiar with how it should work. And so though I've fought for it on the council, not being a mayor, I've never had the chance to actually implement what I can do. I've retired from my job.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm ready to take on the challenge of being mayor. I'm healthy. I've still got energy. And as they say, still got gas in the tank. Keep the engine running while you got it.
All right.
So that's what I'm prepared to do. And I hope people will go out today and take a few minutes to vote in whatever primary they may be voting in, or the nonpartisan ballot, which is just for the mayor's race, and select me as their choice. I'll really appreciate that.
All right. Ed and Linda, if you have a question for John, feel free to jump right
Go
in.
ahead. Beat me up. Challenge me. Give me the tough questions.
How do you feel about the Middle East? No, I'm
How do I
kidding.
feel
I'm
about
kidding.
the
I'm
Middle
kidding.
East?
He doesn't have a vote in that.
It reminds me of my younger years in elementary school. Duck and cover.
Okay. And that
I
works
remember
so
those
well.
days. I remember those days.
When you look at when you started your campaign for mayor, leading up to today, are you happy with what you've accomplished so far?
I am. I think as I've been going door to door, nowhere near as much as I'd like to, but every chance I got, I met with a lot of folks who were very receptive, and oftentimes were saying, "Yeah, it's time for a change."
Okay.
With that sort of frustration in their voice,
The big sigh.
especially after the land deal report came out, and you started the real insider game that was going on. And the council, a lot of council people were punished for removing the mayor earlier. And what nobody knew at the time was she was still behind the scenes doing this secretive land deal while being removed from office, and while recruiting candidates to run with her for council, and while getting them elected, she was keeping it all a secret from them. It's staggering to think that that's how she operated. But they were defending her, and they were claiming that we were doing the wrong thing and they were doing the right thing. And in fact, they didn't even know that she was fooling them too. And I think there's been a lot of regret associated with that, and a lot of frustration on the part of voters who want to get out of that game. We can do economic development, we can do beautification, we can do paving roads and doing all the things you need to do in taking care of the city and creating opportunities by assisting people in developing properties, assisting people and guiding them, and not throwing up roadblocks if they're not on the right side of the political spectrum, and treat it as you would a community, not a political subdivision, so to speak. And if you're not on my side, you're on the wrong side, and I'm going to fight with you. And I don't think that works well. And we can get out of that game. And I think people are expressing the frustration with realizing what has happened and now want to walk away from that. And I'm hoping that they find that my experience is sufficient. I mean, it is 30 years between the housing authority and the school department for 4 years, and then Lincoln for 16 and a half years as finance director. And
How many years on the city council?
a lot.
A lot, okay.
14, I think, this finishes up.
All right.
And 10 years on the school committee. So it's been a lot of time invested, and it just sort of flies by. And I started late in my life. I was 40 years old when I first got elected to office. So it allowed me the chance to say, when I retire, I'll offer myself up for the job. And having gone through my surgery and feeling healthy, I'm prepared to do that. And I hope people will accept that and give me the opportunity to go into the office and see what I can do, because I think it's a lot.
Linda, were you the same in the same age area when you first got elected in North Smithfield?
No, I was older than
You were
that.
older than John?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
no, I was definitely older than that. You know, John, what I was thinking too, you know, I was town administrator council and then and back on the council. And I liked being on the council because I had a vote. So, I enjoyed that.
But how was your relation? How was that council's relationship with the town administrator?
Well, the first one was terrible. If you remember that, it was awful. It was, it was really awful. Like, I got beat up. But when I went back on the council, and then I was president of the council, and then you set the agenda.
Well, yeah,
and things
and
like that.
if you have a good working relationship with the administration, it can be wonderful.
Yeah.
But if the administration, I don't know how bad, when you were on the council, whether you had that bad relationship with an administrator, that it becomes very frustrating.
Yes.
For what you don't know and what's sort of happening without your being able to see it. And it can become unnerving sometimes. And people compliment me on my ability to retain and maintain decorum and not lose my temper and blow my stack or yell and scream. And it's a hard job to do that sometimes.
It is.
I'm sure it is.
That's a great quality, though, John. I said that about you. You're always like,
Even keeled.
I can do this.
There's times you want to scream.
Yeah.
And you just don't, because it's not going to serve anyone's interests. You just, I hate to say it, but if you're old enough, folks, you know what I mean when I say I want to do it like the Joe Friday guy is going to do it, which is just the facts,
Just the
man.
facts, man. Okay.
Just the facts. Yeah.
Just the facts. Deal with facts. Deal with information. Don't deal with feelings and irritations and annoyances. Just the facts.
Have you voted yet today?
I voted early.
Oh, you did early voting. Okay.
Yes, as long as the system allows for the protection of the integrity of the vote through voter ID, which I happen to support, I am just as comfortable voting early because I was pretty sure who I was going to vote for.
Yourself?
And there are no other primaries in my district.
Oh, well, okay.
Melissa Murray doesn't have a primary. Steve Casey doesn't have a primary. So the only primaries were a selection of whether or not I wanted to vote in a Republican primary at the U.S. Senate level.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know. No, Gabe Amo doesn't have a primary. So there really wasn't much choice for me. And fortunately, they passed a law now that as an unaffiliated voter, I can walk in, I could vote in the Republican primary and walk out still unaffiliated without becoming a Republican that I had to file a piece of paper. That's a very nice thing, and I guess most states do it. I believe Massachusetts, they
Yeah,
does
you
that.
can pick whichever you want.
If you're unaffiliated, you
Yeah.
can pick whichever you want, and it doesn't affect
right.
your unaffiliated status. And that's a good thing. So it's going to be a busy day. I've got people
What
out
is
at
your-
the
what is your
polls.
schedule for today?
My schedule.
Where are you gonna go?
I'm the roamer.
Okay.
I go from
Yeah.
place to place, making
Yeah.
sure everything's okay and everybody's at the polling location they're supposed to be at. And I'll be leaving here to go spend a little bit of time down at Crapo Court, and then I'll bounce around a little bit. And during the slow hours, probably from 10 to 12, where we sort of go off coverage because there's only a few places that actually have voters that come in during that time very
Okay.
much. And then around noontime for the lunch crowd, we'll have people back out covering most, if not all, of the polls. And then, of course, at dinner time, starting at 4 o'clock, we flood in the whole area and everybody gets a spot. And we'll have everything going strong. And if people want to join us after the elections and before the debate, we'll be at the Broster House, so they can come join us there and enjoy some
Watch the
pasta and
results.
salad and chicken wings and wait for the results to come in. With modern technology, I'm hoping that the people that close the polls will be there and simply text message me a simple response of
Thumbs up. Thumbs
W.
down.
Oh no,
No.
W
Okay.
number, B number,
Yeah.
H number. That's it. I don't want any
Okay.
more.
Yeah.
And then I'll just put them in the spreadsheet and we'll go from there.
All right.
No complications, not a lot of letters, just,
So basically, you're
Basics.
in charge of getting the donuts to bring around to your poll workers.
donuts.
Well,
we're
this morning,
having
anyway.
we're having breaks today, so there's
Yeah.
not so much demand for donuts. There, on election
Coffee?
day in November, there'll be a coffee and donut wagon running around
There you
and
go.
taking care of that stuff. But it's when it's colder. Today it's
Yeah.
warm.
It's warm. Okay.
If anything, we'd bring them some
Iced coffees.
Doritos and a beer.
There you go.
I don't know about beer, but
They're gonna get more. Are you expecting? What do you think?
I don't know.
Primary?
Usually there's about
Turnout?
3,000 in the primary generally, but I think the Thompson race and the Garrett Manseri Bob Phillips race out in East Woonsocket is
Will
going
bring
to
people out.
generate a lot
that's
of
true, too,
activity.
yeah.
As a matter of fact, I was complimenting Brian yesterday because when the final early voting and mail ballot numbers came in, or the mail ballot as of yesterday, and the early voting numbers came in, the polling locations that Brian Thompson has in the city represented 50% of all of the early voters in mail ballots, and he only is in three polling places. He's in 25% of the total polling locations in the city, and yet the people who filed a mail ballot or early voted, 50% of those people came from those three polling locations as a source. And a lot of that I credit to his campaign strategy, which was knowing that a lot of people aren't interested in really going out and voting in the primary. When he sent out his first introductory letter, he included a mail ballot application in every letter to every voter in the district.
Smart.
And so he got a lot of response.
Smart.
And he
Yeah.
gets a lot of people
Yeah.
voting by mail or early voting because he stimulated that response intentionally.
All right, we got a note called in for John, 766-1240. I guess to John, if you become mayor, here's a fact. The Woonsocket Housing Authority, they only have one manager and one service coordinator for 4 places.
Really? Oh, for the
It is
elderly high-rises?
it is understaffed. Help.
Okay, I
Is
hear
that
you.
something you would
Well, I mean,
know about? Would
the
you look
city doesn't
into?
have any control over a housing authority budget. That's a HUD relationship and
Okay.
HUD funding, and it comes out of the tenant rents paid at their 30% level plus the HUD subsidy that comes with it, and that's all done through their budgeting process and the Board of Commissioners. So the important thing will be to fill out the Board of Commissioners slots with people who are understanding those kinds of problems and can be responsive to it and adjust the budgets accordingly. But, as I said, it's really not something within the control of the city, and I would never want to try to exercise that overly aggressive control over what they do. They are appointed to do a job, and it's really an appointment that's under state law, and city housing authorities are designed and created under state law.
You don't appoint them to the
We
housing
appoint
authority.
the mayor appoints
Mayor
the commissioners
appoints,
only.
Oh,
The
okay,
hiring
okay.
is done
by the commissioners.
by the commissioners and by the housing authority staff. The budget is all housing authority money, either through
Okay.
HUD or from tenant rents. And of course, their employees are predominantly under collective bargaining agreements that they negotiate with the commissioners, and so it's an independent operation. But certainly, the importance of things like that and a prioritization of that, even if it comes down to finding a way to squeeze in an assistant manager to work with the manager, so you got double the coverage really for what I assume saying 4 locations means the 4 high-rises at Crapo, Kennedy Manor, Parkview,
yeah.
and St. Germain. And St. Germain Manor is sort of playing itself out of the equation these days because they've got assisted living there, and it's almost becoming a distinct operation that has a lot more staffing in the building because it's being operated as an assisted living facility. I would only hope that their budget isn't strained by a lack of state and or federal support for the medical needs associated with assisted living and whatever subsidy comes from government operations associated with that kind of operation.
All right. Well, the 15 minutes goes by so fast, John.
Is it over already?
It's over already. Yeah.
It's a terrible thing to have the clock behind my head.
Sorry about that. So this portion of Coffee and has been sponsored by the Friends of John Ward. John, you got one final thing to say about voting for you?
For everybody that comes out to vote or has voted or voted by mail, I sent all of them a letter too. And I want to thank you all and hope that you can support me and find my candidacy as valid. And after today, however it may turn out, I will immediately start working with some council candidates, and we will be campaigning throughout the city and over the next however many weeks it is, and look forward to your support in November and start the job in December. But
One quick question before you go. If you win today and you go forward in the general election, will you debate whoever the other candidate
I'll debate
is?
anybody anytime.
All right. Good to know.
I'll even debate Ed over finance. So I'll probably lose, but you know, I know where my experience is, and
Yeah.
it's not in
It's
his
not
realm. So I'm going to lose that fight. But I'll debate whoever.
We never debate Ed.
No.
That's a smart thing. All right, John, thanks for coming in.
Thank you very much
Appreciate
for
it.
the time.
All right.
Thank you very much, Linda.
Good luck
Ed?
to you.
Ed,
Joe?
thanks for coming in.
Always a pleasure.
All right, and Linda, thanks for coming in as well.
My pleasure.
All right, this is Joe Callahan. Have a great day. Stay tuned for Do You Remember, the Gary Smith the Crew, coming up at 9:30 on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.
There is more evidence of West Nile virus in Rhode Island. Rhode Island State Health and environmental officials say mosquitoes tested in North Kingstown, South Kingstown, and Tiverton from traps set on August 27th tested positive. There are no EEE or Eastern equine encephalitis detections in any of the trap sets statewide. The public is urged